Hello YouTube, and welcome to another general vlog video. Today I'm going to take you guys on a little adventure. So this ought to be really interesting. So let me roll the windows up on the truck. It's like 52 degrees out today. It's beautiful. We're at the end of November. So let me roll the windows up on the truck and we'll take a little adventure. Okay, so basically where we're not far from the house, and this is on Cranetown Island, and then we have a little Pew Island. And we'll go up here and we'll read the sign together. This is part of the hiking trail, and it shows you on here the trail and everything. So we're at location Q. So if we come over here, we see Pew Island Fishing Access and Scenic Trail, constructed in cooperation with Ohio. Yeah, anyways, basically, let me tell you what all that means. And no snowmobiles, by the way. Trash containers are not provided in this park area. Please carry your own trash with you when you leave. Yada, 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 etc., etc., etc. Basically, this is what we call a dredge island. This is all from dredging of the lake, which that's what made this land. And you can see the view. Now, I know the wind is going to be really bad for you guys, and my audio quality is going to really suck. But this time of year, this is about the best that we're going to get. And I think once we get up here and the woods start blocking us a little bit, it'll get a little bit better. And then when we hit the other side of the island, it should get even better. So let's just take a little walk. I'm not going to film all of me walking, I don't think. It's been a while since I've been out on this island to remember how long it takes to get around it walking. But, like I said, plenty of scenic views. Great fishing. I mean, just absolutely great fishing. I haven't fished out here in a long time because I live on the water and I fish right there, but we're going to be doing that some this summer, and we're going to bring you guys along with us, so stay tuned for that. Maybe me and the boys might even come out here and camp out all night. So this is your hiking trail, and now we're on location R, and you can see we're at the at the mouth of it. And just so you guys know, that is where we're at right now. That's where we just come from. We're going to go all the way around, and I'll show you some pretty cool stuff. This is a little fishing spot here. You can see how it's cleared out down to the water. So let's take a walk. And like I said, I am not going to actually film this whole thing because I think it would be way too long of a video, and I'm sure you guys don't like to see my unstableness. I need to get what they call a gimbal, but I'd like to find out if they make a gimbal with a cell phone mount on top of it instead of a camera mount. You got some dredge pipes back here. This was all done up in dredge, and we're going to go up in there in a little bit, and we might even see some deer and stuff. What do you say we go ahead and do that now? That sounds kind of fun, doesn't it? So let's get over here. Oh, I see briars and all that stuff there. Let me keep going until I find a good trail. That one there don't look so great, but it looks like about the best scenario that I've got right now. So, and I don't mind a few little briars and stuff. I can handle it. I got on long pants. And the first thing I see is a snake. So, oh crap. Yeah, I'm out of there. Yep, I'm out. Sorry. I know you guys probably want to see the snakes. I don't deal with snakes. So, I'm out. So, we'll not be going up in there. Sorry. I know I do anything for my YouTubers, but no, I'm not dealing with that. They were kind of gray, and they were very small. So, don't think, well, of course, I live in Ohio, so they're probably not poisonous. Once my heart stops pounding so much, there's a little island you can go out on and fish, a little pier. Excuse me. Yeah, see, I should have waited and come to somewhere like this. All right. I hate running across snakes. Just not my cup of tea. But this is a nice little way that, oh, kind of hard to get up. That deer come up. Oh, it's like a swampy area up here still. I thought they filled all this in. And apparently they didn't. So we're up on top now. And we're basically, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Maybe a little more clear on the other side. It's just like a little swampy area, but I'm clearly following a path that, oh, let me get past all these briars, and, or not briars, but little sticks and stuff. I don't know if you caught that on film, but I just slid on my butt. Oh, this is going to be a good video, huh? You guys get to find out that I don't like snakes, and I fall. All right, so here we go. I would not believe that it is 50 degrees out, and we've been way below freezing. We've already had our first snow, major snow, and we still got snakes out. I think they need to figure out how to hibernate. Okay. So I don't know whether to keep you guys just filming. I don't know how much of this you want to see. I mean, you've already seen all the fun stuff. Me hollering and screaming about snakes and falling on my butt. Excuse me. Now, I must admit, now that I'm out here on this lake water, or lake water air, I guess I should say, my hands are starting to get a little cold. There's a good path that I would say deer have probably been going up quite a bit. But there's so many little trees and stuff at the top, you really don't get a good view. And all it is just like a little marsh pit up there, you know, it's not much. Definitely need to see about getting a gimbal. Just to see about, you know, stabilizing up my videos a little bit. So I don't have really a whole lot to talk about, other than dredging means when they scoop up bottom dirt up underneath the water to make, you know, channels wider or deeper, or the lake deeper, or whatever they got to do. Then they use this area here, well, this whole island that we're walking on, to dump it. You know, they have to have a place to dump it. So by doing so, they created an island, which is actually kind of neat. Now, this is not an island like out in the middle of the lake or anything, you know, to where you have to have a boat to access it. There's bridges and stuff like that that we can access through to get here. It's kind of like Staten Island, you know. You wouldn't have to go to Staten Island and swim to it. You know, there's ways there. Same thing here. Beautiful little area. Could you imagine owning this and being able to just, you know, build you a house back here? You know, this is out of city zone, so you could have livestock and everything here. Of course, they would probably want $1 million for it or something. Probably 100 million. And I am so sorry for the bouncy of it. Kind of pull you over here and let you see the open water. Now we live, oh, let's see. We live on the other side of that little island there. We live right past it. Okay, so now this is where I don't know exactly what I want to do, because I think it's really cool if we go to the right, but then we're going to miss what goes straight, which straight is basically what we've been on few little peninsulas jogged out on here for fishing. This is probably the best place to fish, is on this one up here. But I think we're going to go this way. And now every stick that I see, I think is a snake. Oh well. I love the woods. I'm in the woods constantly, but it still has never made me like snakes. I know they don't hurt me until I try to hurt them. And I live in Ohio, and it's probably not poisonous. I know southern Ohio has some poisonous, but we're mid-Ohio, and I don't believe I've ever heard of any poisonous snakes around here. But even if they can't hurt you, they can make you hurt yourself. All right, now isn't this beautiful? Now we're off of the beaten path. Well, still a beaten path, but you know, we're off the little gravel area there. And we're kind of taking a shortcut through it. We're just basically knocking off the very tip. This is a great place to come and hike. Kids love it. Get good exercise with it. I was sure thinking there was a wooden bridge through here at one time. They may have gotten rid of it. It's just a beautiful area. I love it here. And this is thanks to our great Indian Lake Conservation type deal. You know, they provided this for us. You know, I would say free of charge, but of course our property taxes and everything all has to go up. But as far as admission, they don't charge anything. And you can see sometimes it lays in water. That's why we're walking on a raised area, and that's why it's got culverts going through. Walking on all the beautiful leaves falling on the ground. Oh, just so nice out here. And it's beautiful to walk out here in the wintertime too. After a fresh snowfall, oh, I'll have to bring you guys out here for that. There's no sense in me just telling you about it when I can let you guys experience it with me. And that is like the coolest thing in the world. That I can just kind of take you guys along with my journeys. But I feel if I don't at least let you see the other part of the island where we just kind of knocked off, I feel like I'm not doing my justice to you guys. So let's get up here. We're going to read this sign. And I'll show you what we did on this sign. Another beautiful fishing spot. Okay, so if you look at this sign, we started out here. We're parked about right in there. We started out here. Remember I showed you this. That's that little peninsula. This is where we cut across right here. But remember that little jot out there that I showed you. So I think what I'm going to do is stop the film and walk back to that and then bring you guys back through that. Okay? That way I feel like I did my job correctly. Okay, I'm going to bring you back from here. If you guys look up here, you'll see those two, and you can kind of see the gate if I come over this way. That's where we turned off and went through that little bypass, so to speak. Remember I pointed down here and told you the other fishing island. Now this is the best fishing right here. You know, we used to load our fishing poles and everything up on a wagon, one of the kids' wagons, and just kind of, you know, bring all your stuff down here, and the kids, you feel pretty safe with them, you know, because it's not like they could fall off and into the water. Now they could go down on the rocks. We just tell them, you know, stay off the big rocks. And we could come down here and, you know, have a little fire. You can see somebody's already have one. On a night that, you know, it's not quite as windy as it is now. And, you know, fish. You got plenty of big rocks to put your poles up on. Tell the kids to stay off the big rocks. The older kids, you know, can go play in the woods. Of course, once it gets dark, they don't want to do that, but look at that view, people. Is that not absolutely beautiful? We're going to do a panoramic and go all the way around what I see from this little peninsula here. And I'll try not to blind you because we're getting ready to go right over to bright sunshine. And then right up there is where that gate and everything was. So I have another surprise for you, which I'm just absolutely tickled to death to be able to show you guys. And another thing I like about fishing out there, you know, 4 or 5 people can fish right there and cast in different directions, but also, you know, somebody could come like right here, it's clear, right here would be a good spot, you know, so you can get your whole family fishing on this and nobody really be in the way. And you're out in the woods and you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself. You bring you a picnic, you know, and just enjoy yourself. Now, once again, to the right is where we was when we went off that one little trail. And now we've come this way. And actually, I know now why they have those gates there, and I'll explain that to you once we get down here. So now we're at the end of the island. This is basically the end of the island where we just were at that little peninsula there. And it's just a beautiful little spot. Out and enjoy the woods and the fresh fallen leaves and everything. Hello.
Come back at sunset.
Right, yes, absolutely. That gentleman said come back at sunset. It is absolutely beautiful here at sunset. See, that's what I love about it. Everybody's friendly. I love my area. Love, love, love my area. So as we come on down in through here, we're going to run across something very, very, very fun. And this is what I was trying to tell you guys about earlier. You keep coming on down here, and you can see it kind of looks like the path ends. And basically, as far as following the water, the path does end. And another good fishing spot is right here. And if you can see, if we walk out here to this, yeah, I'm purposely not showing you to the right yet, in case you haven't figured that out. But another beautiful spot, nice open water, not as good for kids to fish. And the only reason I say that is because there's stuff up here that they get their bobbers and stuff hung on. But look at this view. But as you can see, we really can't go straight around the water anymore. But then we go this way. And this was what I was telling you about the boardwalk. This is absolutely cool. This is just like an old boardwalk that you can walk on. It keeps you elevated above in our rainy seasons when it gets wet down in there. Keeps you elevated above it. Now I have noticed I've got on just regular tennis shoes, and this is actually kind of slick. So you definitely want to be careful. But look how beautiful this is. And when everything's in bloom and everything's budding out and all the cattails are out and everything, you can't ask for anything any better. Now this video is going to be a little bit longer than what I normally would post, but I think it's going to be worth it. I really do. And just look at that nice straight boardwalk, and it's getting ready to turn to the right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man. I love my area so much. And this is only one of hundreds of different things that are available. Yeah, they may not all be like this, but they're all really similar or even better in their own way. There's like dried milkweed, if you'll see that. See the insides of it? They call that milkweed. And look at it, it's just kind of like cotton. See it floating? Oh, love it, love it, love it. Now you can go, once you get up here to the water again, which we're almost there. I really didn't want to make this a 30-minute video, but I also don't want to do it in a two-piece thing and do two 15-minute ones. I want you guys to just be able to watch this all in one day and just enjoy my neighborhood. So you can go to the left here. Not very far, actually. We'll go to the left, just so I feel like I showed you everything on this island. We'll go to the left, and you'll go down here. We can't go all the way around to where we were just walking from, but you know, we can go down here. And this is one thing that's cool down here, is another great fishing spot. But look down here, look what we have here. So bring your significant other, or your significant other and your children, and you come down here and you have a picnic table. Look at that. You can sit down. Let's just have a little seat. Let's sit down and just look. Look how beautiful that is. There's a couple more islands. That is an island right there. And that island over there, you'll see a little bitty house on it. That is what I call Boater's Island, because this whole side here, which would be kind of like the southwest side of it, is all sandy. It's like a beach. You can go up there, dock or anchor your boat, or just run it right up on shore, and the kids can explore the island, and they can swim on a sandy beachy area. You know, the bottom's real nice and sandy. So I call it the Boater's Swim Area. I think just that's about what everybody calls it. I'm sure the island actually has a name. Okay, so now we're back to that little boardwalk. And remember, that way we just came. And so we'll pretend that we just come off the boardwalk and we made a right. So now we're going to go on down here. I'm so glad I backtracked. I'm just so glad that I backtracked. And you guys have already seen this part. This is where we come out of the center island, and we're almost there again. I knew there used to be a boardwalk, but there didn't used to be this extra path that we walked down the first time. Look at that deer path going right through there. Beautiful. I know I keep saying that a lot, but I love nature so much. So one thing that I did notice, I had never experienced this trail up here, nor these gates being here, but now I see what these gates are. Area closed during waterfowl season. Access by permit only. Please use alternative trail, which is the trail that we went down first. So now they close this off and allow people to waterfowl hunt here. So now it makes sense to me why I remembered a trail. I just always knew there was a boardwalk there. I thought maybe it got old and, you know, started falling apart. Maybe they got rid of it. So now we're going back in a roundabout way. And if you'll notice, we're on this side of the island now, which, let's see, if we are pretty much north of the island now, and we're kind of a little bit northeast, but not much. Anybody else would just say we're the north side of the island. And if you'll notice, remember I told you the sound quality would get better because we're not on the south side of the island where all the wind is coming from. Most of our wind here comes from the west and sometimes southwest. Most of the time. Normally, if our wind starts blowing from the east or the north, we know we got a heck of a storm coming. So could you imagine being out here when all the leaves are on the trees? I mean, the leaves on the ground are beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But could you imagine coming out here with all the leaves up? Another nice little fishing spot. Roll that log back a little bit and have a nice seat. Another culvert pipe coming down. Once again, I apologize for this video being so long because we have a path. You know what that means. Okay, no, I thought about stopping it, making a whole new video, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take you guys right along, all in one video. Looks like it's going to get kind of steep. And with it being wet and all the leaves on the ground, I might slip and fall and bust my butt again. You guys can just laugh at me. That's okay. I'm fine with being laughed at. I think it's worth it. Whew, get out of breath really quick. I think it's worth it to be able to bring you guys up here and we get to see what's going on. So, look at these. Look, that is so soft. Don't know what that's called, but that is so soft. So it looks like you can basically just continue walking down there to that swampy area, which, yeah, see, once I get down here, you guys can't see nothing. So, I see some stuff trampled down over there. I would say this has something to do with the waterfowl. Or, nah, I was going to say, or the deer. But this is too good of a path for deer to have made. I would say somehow they waterfowl hunt up in there, or I honestly don't know what it's for. But we really couldn't go anywhere else. All right, still enjoyed that. Got to be thankful every day that you're even able to get out and do this. There's a lot of people out there that's not able to do this. If you're in a wheelchair or something, this would be next to impossible. Although, I'd try to bring you out here even in a wheelchair. I'd push you, or I'd sure try my hardest. Because everybody in the world should be able to view this. So this is what happens when you get a excuse me. You get a hold of a homesteader in heart that does not have his own homestead anymore. And he still wants one. He does whatever he can to get out in the nature just as much as possible. Now, unfortunately, I'm not out here raising pigs and sheep and cow and all that good stuff. And did you guys notice I said sheeps? Never claim to be right, people. Never claim to be right. Just claim to be in love with life. I'm glad that I can be out here experiencing this and experiencing it with you guys. Bring you right along with me. Of course, most of you are probably dizzy by now. A lot of shaking and everything going on. But we're almost to the end. So it's going to be a 30-minute video, or a little over 30 minutes. I wish I'd have known that in the beginning, because I could have warned everybody. Oh, and here we've got another couple of beautiful little fishing spots that are cleared out. Looks like we got a pretty good cleared out spot here. Not really sure what this is, but it's beautiful. And off to the left there, and there is good fishing there. But you know, if I'm going to fish on this island, I want to go to the end. There's another little path, somewhat runs up that way, but should we take it? Nah, it doesn't look very clear. So I got a feeling, like I said, once we get up there, that's all we see is all them little trees. And you just don't get a good open view of the little marshy area in there, which we kind of already know what it is. It's filled with snakes, right? Ugh, I don't like snakes. But I think you guys already know that now. Looks like off to our left here is another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little scenic view back in there. And I mean, let's go ahead and walk over there. If you want to sit here and fish, that's just fine. There is good fishing here. It's just, I would rather not have to see any houses or nothing. But this little channel way here does offer just an absolute beautiful place to fish. Especially in the summer. I know from experience that this place right here, oh, look at here. Look what I see. Oh. Looky there. Let me, I want to make sure that this rock isn't extremely slick and that I don't drop my cell phone or something in the water. Oh, nobody's home. Nobody's home. That little seashell, there's nobody there. So I'm going to put that in my pocket and I'm going to take that home, put that in my flower garden. Kind of my memorabilia for this little trip that we took. Another thing that I happen to notice is look at that big old tall dead tree. Wow, that thing's huge. If it falls, it might span that whole little channel there. So I got me a little souvenir. That makes me very happy. Not that I haven't already got 1,000 of those little things, but I'll try to put this in a special little spot where I'll remember it. We're at about 32 minutes right now, but we are closing in on the end of it. And I know a lot of you, once we get up here, you're going to say, go back and show us those snakes. No, thank you. Nope, not going to do it. If it had been summertime, I'd have been, expecting to see a snake. And I would have been a little more prepared. Would have I reached down and petted them and said, oh, snakey, snakey? No. Nope, absolutely not. But I would have been prepared to see a snake. But we're into winter a couple months, and I was not expecting to see a snake. And the gray color like that, you never know. Maybe somebody had one of them big anacondas or whatever the people collect or keep as pets, and kind of dropped it off out here, and it had babies. Who knows? I've never seen a gray snake like that. I might watch it again when I go home on the video, but probably not. I've seen enough of them. Big old culvert coming through there. I don't know if you guys can see that yet. Oh, and look up there. There's some type of a little dam. And you can clearly see where animals have been coming up and down that a lot. So they're probably going down through there into this culvert and over and across to the water. Probably otters and beavers and, oh my, all them kind of things.